universe, welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, February 8th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, hanging out with my compañero this morning. I got my guy TC Stills. All you Yankee fans out there, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how you feeling, big fella?
Hey, feeling great for a Thursday. Hey, what do you know? It's time to talk some more Yankee baseball. This once a week stuff is tough, but there's nothing going on. We're almost there, a week away. So how you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. Literally, we are 6 days away. 6 days away for pitchers and catchers to report to Yankee spring training. And like you said, this once a week stuff is getting on my nerves. But don't worry, folks. Yankees are right around the corner. We will come back to 2 to 3 days out the week. Make sure you guys are ready for that. Shout out to the chat. Let's do a little bit of the roll call before we continue. Our guy Jonathan is in the building. Jonathan, how you doing?
Always here, nice and early.
01LS1Z2ADABX, my guy. How you doing? Salute, salute, salute. Damian Serrano is in the building. Our friend Damian. NFE from the Strike Zone is in the building.
My
Stephen
guy.
B is in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Louis G is in the building. Salute to you. And my guy DJ Still starting it off with the $9.99 super chat. DJ Still says, did you guys hear about the inventor of Velcro who passed away this week? R.I.P. What's up, cats? Much love to Stills and Hector. That is the most Snapple fact I've ever heard to start a show. The inventor of Velcro has passed away. Rest in peace. But DJ Stills, I appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you, bro.
Hey, Stills.
Cannot wait
Much love
for you to see you at the stadium, my guy. Definitely. And make sure you guys go and follow my guy DJ Stills and his channel that he got started on YouTube.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody who's in the building. Today is the start of a 10-hour live stream. We've got this thing going on today. Frank Luna will be joining us later on today. We're going to have a giveaway going. We got like 2 or 3 raffles that we're going to be doing with Frank Luna. Our friend Jake from the Bronx Zoo will be in the building as well. And like I said, we're putting money together because we're trying to get the boys to New York City. We have a great opportunity to do a Knicks Morning Brew from Madison Square Garden. And at the same time, we will be in spring training. So we're setting up some stuff for spring training. So make sure you guys tune in for that. He said, damn it, Hector, you butchered that joke. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Jokes are not my strong suit. That's why I talk Yankees bullshit on the YouTube. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Vince is in the building. Mr. Vince, how you doing?
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Copy.
1 second.
It was supposed to rip like you rip Velcro. Oh, copy, rip. R.I.P. I see it. My fault. But no, shout out to everybody that's in the building. Folks, we are sitting on 3,415 subscribers on our way to 3,500. If you guys are watching us, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button for your boys. But TC, there's a little bit of news that's going around right now when it comes to the New York Yankees. Shout out to my guy David Rios, who's in the building. Mike Perez as well is in the building. Jeep the best, Yanks, Knicks, Giants, Rangers. Appreciate you, my guy, for tuning in. But like I said, we got some news that happened right over the week. And since we were on last Thursday, but Mr. Andy Martino. Now, normally when we talk about rumors or we talk about reporting this off season, the reporting, it has been off. You guys see the link that's on the top right of your screen. If you guys could go to morningbrew.com, or you guys can go to buy me a coffee /morningbrew sports. Buy us a coffee. Help us with our goal. We're trying to get to 4K, so help us out. So buy us a coffee. But yeah, like I was saying, Andy Martino came out. If there's anyone we're going to trust, Andy Martino, he's someone that I put some weight in. One, for the simple fact of he works for SNY, works for the New York Post, I believe, as well. But when it comes to local baseball, my guy has his connections. So Andy Martino came out. He was on a podcast. He was just having a conversation. He was on the Bronx Pinstripe podcast. According to Andy Martino, who was on SNY as well, Yankees are not quite satisfied with their offseason work to bolster their pitching staff. I think us fans could agree with that. But according to Andy Martino, this is him speculating, a spring training trade for a pitcher wouldn't be a shocker. TC, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What's your thoughts with Mr. Andy Martino and his thought process of the Yankees possibly adding a starting pitching by the time spring training come around? What's your thoughts on that, folks in the chat? What's your thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from because you know, the latest deal with the Orioles reeling in Corbin Burns, that was a shocker. And I think the Yankees looked at that and said, you know, that changes the balance of power, I think, in the East. So, you know, getting Marcus Stroman was a good, you know, good addition. But I think they're looking at the end of the rotation with Clark Schmidt and Nestor Cortez. And the health on some of these guys, and Rodon, you know, we don't know, is the back fully healthy. Getting another pitcher wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't think they're going to go out and get a Blake Snell or a Jordan Montgomery. I don't think that's going to happen now. I mean, the money is just too much. But you know, pulling in a trade, I mean, Dylan Cease, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. It depends, again, on who they want. If they want Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones or, you know, Roderick Arias, some of the top, I don't see that. The Yankees could add Corbin Burns, but the price was too high.
Yeah.
I mean, and they wanted too much. And the Orioles, I don't know how they got away with it. I mean, I thought that was a steal. I mean, what they had to get Corbin Burns, you know, whenever teams want players from the Yankees, they want top 5 prospects. Everybody else to get away with, you know, giving away basically 99-cent store players. I mean, it's just it's a joke. So no, I think that there is a possibility during spring training is, you know, a little it's odd, but we're only 6 days away. It could happen before then. Yeah, I mean, I'd welcome the idea. Bring in some more. You never have pitching, right? Never have enough.
Yeah, you could never have too much pitching, right? But it's going to come down to who they're going to trade for, or if they're going to even trade for somebody.
Well, it's going to be a quality guy.
The question is, Hugh, it should be a quality guy, right? But when it comes to the Hugh, who are we trading for? I'm not sure. You bring up Dylan Cease, that would probably be the top pick out of who's available. But you got Luzardo, you got, you know, Devin Williams, who's more of a closer from the Milwaukee Brewers. But when you look at it, last week's episode, right before the trade went down, I was fixed with the Yankees copy. This is the squad. This is the roster that we're going to go to war with for 162 games. Sign me up. I'm ready to go to war, especially with the thought process that at the trade deadline, the New York Yankees will make a trade probably for Corbin Burns. Back then, he was still on the Brewers. Now, 7 days later, a week later, after the reality set in, Corbin Burns is traded to the Baltimore Orioles. Even still, worst nightmare, worst case scenario. Even still, with that happening, I am still satisfied with this being the roster that I'm going to go to war with for 182 games. When you compare our roster with the Baltimore Orioles, when you look at it, who's the better starting pitcher, Garrett Cole or Corbin Burns? I'm sorry, it's Garrett Cole to me. So still right Cole. There, you give the Yankees the edge right there. You talk about the catcher, the wonder kid, Adley Rutschman, the future of the Baltimore Orioles. He's the same age as Juan Soto. Do you guys realize that? Do you realize that, TC? Adley Rutschman is the same.
It's hard to believe, but as Juan Soto. True.
Who's a better hitter, Juan Soto or Adley Rutschman?
Juan Soto. Sorry,
Juan Soto. And then you take Aaron Judge and compare him with whoever the Baltimore Orioles have. No comparison. Aaron Judge is better than Gunnar Henderson. Aaron Judge is better than Jake Holiday. Whoever else they have on that roster. So even still, with the Baltimore Orioles going out there, getting Corbin Burns, I am still okay with this being the squad that I go to war with for 162 games. Do I want my team to upgrade? Absolutely. Do I want my team to still go out there and try to put the pedal to the metal? Absolutely. Because at the start of the offseason, the front office, right? This is what the front office told us, TC. The front office told us that they were going to be all in, that the New York Yankees were going to be all in. So you had me as a fan, you had me sold. Juan Soto is an all-in move. That's an all-in move. Marcus Stroman, I'm not sure. That's not an all-in move. Marcus Stroman is a nice piece. He's a nice addition. He is not an all-in move. But when you look at this team from last year and the additions we made when it comes to a Juan Soto, when it comes to a Marcus Stroman, we just got Caleb Ferguson. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But when you talk about this team right now, I am okay with this being the squad that we go to war with for 162 games. We make our improvements where we make our improvements. Now, when it comes to spring training and what Andy Martino was talking about, you may want to add an extra starting pitcher. But who's that starting pitcher going to be is the most important question, TC.
Yeah. No, I agree. This on paper, this team has 100 wins written all over it. I mean, I that lineup well improved, much improved. Adding Juan Soto, we forget Alex Verdugo,
who's
way better than Franchi Cordero and Jake Bowers and Willie Calhoun. I don't even want to say their names anymore, but
say their names, because us as Yankee fans, we won't have to worry about them. We won't have to worry about Jake Bowers hitting 240, batting in the 3-hole in the middle of August or in the middle of July. We won't have to worry about Willie Big Bang Calhoun batting in the bottom of the ninth when the game is on the line. Shout out. Who's this? Damian Serrano with a buy me a coffee. Damian Serrano, my guy.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you hit that go. Damian, I appreciate you. How many coffees you gave us? My guy brought us 1 coffee. Damian, I appreciate you. If you guys can, I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if you're backstage, if you can put the link in the chat for people when it comes to buy my coffee, just hit that link, jump on over, buy a coffee.
Love, Damien.
Help us with the donation goal. Shout out to my guy, Nathan Ramachandra in the NNR Hour.
Good to see you, brother.
Talking about my guy, Nathan, this is the perfect segue. I want to take a pause real quick, right? I know we're getting in our feelings right now. We're talking about the team. But over the weekend, I'm not sure if you guys follow me on social media, but shout out to my guy Nathan. Shout out to my guy Frank Luna for setting up the event, but also shout out to the folks at Woodbridge Brewing Company in New Jersey. I had the opportunity to interview our own Oswaldo Cabrera, the human Swiss Army knife. It was a great conversation. I mean, Cabrera. Cabrera. It was a great conversation. Oswaldo, he's a phenomenal guy.
Good guy. Real good guy.
Good guy. I tell you this, TC, when it comes to the Q&A, my guy, the entire time he was standing up. He wasn't sitting down. He was standing up the entire time, taking pictures, signing autograph for fans, especially interacting with those kids. So
I could tell from the interview, I could tell he was a good dude.
Yeah,
genuinely good dude.
I'm gonna play the clip right now from my interview with Oswaldo Cabrera, and we would jump right back. What's up, Yanks Morning Brew family? It is your guy Hector. Checking in again back at Woodbridge. I'm with my guy 95, the Swiss Army knife. My guy Oswaldo. Oswaldo, how you feeling, baby?
I'm feeling so good, my man. So happy to be here.
Now, the one thing I want to ask you: this chain you got on, it is a pop culture phenomenon now with Yankee fans. Can you give us the significance behind that chain that you wear?
Man, this is just showing the love that I have for everybody, you know. So you see this in my chest is just because that's my personality, just showing love for everybody.
Oswaldo, you are a man of the people, man of the streets. 2024, let's go Yankees, Papa.
Go Yankees, brother.
So let's go, baby.
Dale, papi.
Shout out,
man.
my guy Oswaldo Cabrera. He told me to make sure I run into him when I'm down there at spring training for another interview. So guys, make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys are following us, because we will be down there at spring training bringing you amazing content. I will be down there representing Morning Brew Sports, and as well, I'll be linking up with other content creators. I will be with my family from NYYU. My guys from the U will be in the building as well. And shout out to my brother Pete, and shout out to Johnny Lasagna for joining the squad as well. It's the guy that I followed on Twitter for quite a while. But shout out to everybody else that is in the building. If you guys, the goal is 3,000. We are at $477 at the moment.
Okay.
Help us get to our goal.
We
got some great content coming to you. We started it off yesterday. We'll be running this thing until we are there at spring training. But no, back to the conversation at hand. When it comes to Andy Martino, when it comes to that hypothetical trade, shout out to you, Nathan. I appreciate you, for a starting pitcher at spring training. Like I said, Andy Martino, very reliable source, especially when it comes to local baseball with the Yankees and with the New York Mets. Who do you have in mind? You brought up Dylan Cease earlier. Is that the goal? Is Dylan Cease the goal? What's your thoughts, TC, before we jump on over to the next topics?
I think he's the name that everybody is, throwing out there, and one of the top, I guess, trade pieces that's available. But you brought up Luzardo and some of the Marlins players, Cabrera. Was it Eduardo Cabrera from the Marlins?
Cabrera, yeah,
he's another guy that I think is a possibility. I think the Marlins fits our trade scenarios much better. I don't think they're gonna, want the top prospect. They were interested in Glaber. I don't know if they're interested in him anymore. Peraza is available. Pereira. We have some guys that just don't have a fit on this team. So and we have 5 catchers on our 40-man roster. I mean, I don't understand it, but yeah, some of the guys got to go. So there's some other names out there that are floating around, but I don't know. Cease and Cabrera and maybe Luzardo, would be my guess.
I would say, like NFE brought up in the chat, Cabrera would be the better choice, but also Cabrera would be the cheaper option, right? Than Luzardo, right? When you look at it right now, and a lot of fans, we like to point to the LA Dodgers and look what the Dodgers did. And listen, the Dodgers, they have more pitching concerns than the New York Yankees. If you would have asked me, who would I rather have? Would I rather have the LA Dodgers starting rotation or the New York Yankees starting rotation? I'm taking the Yankees starting rotation. One, because when you look at it, Tyler Glasnow, he's never thrown more than 120 innings in a season. So that's one right there. You got Yamamoto, who's a question mark in that starting rotation. You don't know what he's going to be, right? So I'm not putting him ahead of Garrett Cole. I'm sorry. You got Clayton Kershaw, who's, veteran. They just re-signed him. He's not going to be back to about like August, right? And then when you look at that other starting pitching, Dustin May and these other guys, they're coming back from injuries. They're not going to be ready to start the season. So the only starting pitcher that the LA Dodgers is going to have to start the season is Yamamoto. Besides that, they don't even know who they don't, and Walker Buehler as well. But besides those two, they don't know who else is pitching. And then on top of
it, signed James Paxton as well.
They signed James
blast
Paxton.
From the past.
There you go. Blast the big Maple coming to save the day. But when you look at it as well, their big signing, Shohei Ohtani, he's not going to even pitch this season. No. So move on over. The big Maple is coming to save the day in Hollywood. How about that? Yeah. How about that? So like I said, who would I rather have? Our starting rotation or the LA Dodgers? I'd rather have our starting rotation. Who would I rather have? Our starting rotation or the Baltimore Orioles starting rotation? I would rather have our starting rotations, even with the question marks surrounding Carlos Rodon, even with the question marks surrounding Nestor Cortez. Everybody want to see what Marcus Stroman can do coming back to the American League 2.0. This is his victory lap, but let's see what Marcus Stroman does in pinstripes, right? Even with all those questions, I still trust, and I would rather have our starting rotation. Yes, we didn't get the big fish in Yamamoto, but like Andy Martino just said, I'm gonna bring it back up. Andy Martino said that the New York Yankees internally are happy that they didn't sign Yamamoto. According to Andy Martino, he said teams that offered that big contract for Yamamoto, thinking that it was already blown out of proportion once he didn't sign with them, a lot of teams felt like they could take a deep breath. They dodged the bullet when it comes to that. Maybe it's sour grapes, maybe it's the Yankees being petty, feeling some type of way. I don't know, but as of right now, I just got to go with the words of Andy Martino. TC, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. No, I feel I feel what they're saying about Yamamoto. I mean, that was a huge deal for a guy never proved. He hasn't proven anything yet in major leagues. It's just too much money. And yeah, there was no second like a plan B. So it could be, some salty tears or some, sour grapes. But like you're saying, I do like our rotation. Again, it comes down to the health. If the health of the team, they can stay on the field, sky's the limit. I mean, these guys, they're a 100-win team. I really do see Carlos Rodon bouncing back. I see him slotting in right there behind Cole as the number 2. Like I said last week, these guys are going to feed off each other. The offense is much improved. Pitchers aren't going to feel like they can't, just give up one run. I think it's a different feel of this team. I really do. And, if they add another pitcher, so be it. But I think I'm good with what we have. And, in the bullpen, we're going to get to some of the bullpen guys we just picked up. And I really love what they did with the Caleb Ferguson deal. I love that.
Yeah, and Acevedo, I agree with you, Acevedo. Too many years on a what-if roster. Acevedo, I am right there with you. Too many what-ifs. Too many what-ifs. Even with those what-ifs, I have faith in our front office when it comes to our minor league level. Clayton Beater should be up here at some point with this team. Will Warren should be at one point up here with this team. And also Chase Hampton at some point should be up here with this squad this year. But Acevedo, I agree with you.
Hampton, yeah.
You cannot expect to be competing for a championship with so many what ifs on your roster, especially in your starting rotation. We are heavily reliant this year on the what ifs that is a part of this roster. What are we going to get out of Carlos Rodon? According to the early reports look like they're good when it comes to Carlos Rodon. Shout out to Uncle Grandpa Tats that is in the building from the Pinstripe Chronicles. Uncle Tats, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. We got our guy Frank Luna backstage. Before I bring up Frank Luna, I want to share with you that video from Andy Martino, and then we'll jump back with our guy Frank, who is backstage, and we'll start everything popping. Give me 1 second. Chrome tab. There it is, right here. Technology is you gotta love technology, TC. All right, so here's a clip.
Can't live without
Let's go, and we will be right back.
Were the Yankees ever really in on Corbin Burnes?
They were. They did try to get Corbin Burnes, and they were disappointed that they didn't. But I don't have the players. I don't have the trade package that was discussed. I wish I could sit here and tell you that, but I do know that the Yankees felt it was like, whoa, that's too much. And then the next thing they kind of knew, he was an Oriole, so it didn't get too far down the tracks, unfortunately for the Yankees.
And how do they feel about their pitching right now? I mean, they talked a big game. They fell short on Yamamoto. They didn't offer Snell what he wanted. They missed out on Corbin Burnes. It ended up with Marcus Stroman. Well, I know how I feel about it. How do they feel about it?
I think with Yamamoto, there's this tremendous sense of relief that you're not committing 10 years to a guy that hasn't thrown a pitch in the big leagues. I think the teams that missed out on him are like, phew, that got crazy for a little bit. But that aside, the Yankees wish that they'd had a bit of a better offseason with their pitching. I mean, obviously, any offseason in which you acquire Juan Soto is a really, really strong. Let's not forget, it's so long ago that it's almost easy to forget. But that was a big deal. Stroman, they got a really good bargain on Stroman because of all the questions that follow him about the way that he comports himself at times. They paid less for a quality number 2 or 3 than they might have otherwise. But having said all that, the Yankees would like to have added another top level, whether it's a Burnes or a Snell or someone like that, to the rotation, and probably another top tier arm to their bullpen. And they found the prices to be crazy. I mean, Frankie Montas, who was one of the worst trades they've ever made, who didn't pitch for them for like a year and a half, got $16 million. He's not throwing 200 innings this year. He hasn't pitched in a couple of years practically. So when the prices are there, the Yankees just didn't find anything palatable to them. And I'd say they're probably a little disappointed.
Well, I mean, that's not all in. All the prices. Well, you either want to go all in or you don't. You got to pay what the going rate is. And obviously, the Yankees didn't have the stomach for what the going rate is.
And that's a solid point that Andy Martino brings up, especially when you look at the money that that Frankie Montas got. Frankie Montas got 16 million from the Cincinnati Reds. That's literally just 2 million less than what we gave to Marcus Stroman. And if that's what it takes, then I'm good with that when it comes to Stroman. What about you, PC?
No, we got a bargain, and Cashman, work some magic. I mean, because I don't think they want to get into these long-term contracts and get burned like they did in the past.
Yeah,
they've been giving out these crazy contracts to pitchers, and it burns them in the end. And 2 years for Stroman, that's like prove it. The incentives, prove what you got. You want to be in New York? Let's see what you got, and he has the chance.
And when you think about it, right? Like I've said, and like I've been saying, they did not value every other starting pitcher the same way they value Yamamoto. When it comes to Yamamoto, the 300 million, let's just talk hypothetical. That 300 million, half of that was going to be paid by the Japanese dollars that was coming in because of that TV deal and because of that extra merchandise deal. So the Yankees realistically was only going to pay half of that 300 million, that 150. And now it makes sense why they only offered Blake Snell that 150. Some reports out there saying the Yankees came back around and offered him a little bit more money than what they offered Carlos Rodon. But folks, we're going to pause right here. We got our friend backstage. We're going to bring up our guy, Mr. Frankie Luna, to join us in on the conversation. Frank, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready, brother. My guy Frank got the thumbs up. Frank, how you feeling? My guy, salute. What's good, baby?
What's up, guys? How we doing? All right.
I'm good, brother. How you feeling? You good?
Yeah, man. Beautiful day at the Jersey Shore. Starting to feel a little bit like spring out.
Oh yeah,
beard's looking good. Coming in good.
Feeling good. Feeling good. Yeah, man. I'm ready for baseball. We had that Pinstripe Pride weekend.
Yes.
This past weekend, man, that was so fun, Hector. I mean, what a weekend that was.
My guy Frank Luna, he's rubbing elbows with Don Mattingly. He was with Aaron Boone the weekend before. How you feeling, Frank?
I'm jealous.
It's neat, man. I mean, it's a year ago, last year at that Pinstripe Pride event, and Hector, you and I have talked about this a little bit. Yeah. I was a paying customer and there to kind of network and kind of figure out a way to really increase my role with this hustle. And in a year, it's amazing to think I think I've done about 9 events with active and or former Yankees in a year, which a lot of, and again, part of it is because I didn't know what I didn't know. So a lot of promoters won't do more than 3 or 4 in a year. And I was up around 8 or 9. And getting to work with Aaron Boone a little bit more closely on 3 events in a week was really awesome. I mean, getting to see that guy, the way he thinks a little bit about the baseball stuff we get, but talking about other stuff has been really intriguing. And he's a deep guy, man. Like he's a lot deeper than we may think. And he just knows baseball, man. He's a pro. He's a good dude. I like him. I like him. He's a cool guy.
What was any insights? Like, because I know you must have brought up a conversation about the team for this year for 2024. What was your thoughts or what was the conversation between you and Boone about the team?
It's interesting. I don't talk much with these guys privately about baseball and. I probably wouldn't, there were a couple of conversations about some specific players that, I think he was kind of talking to me in confidence on. The one player that he definitely, we talked about, and I believe he's talked about him publicly, so I feel comfortable saying this, is Will Warren. I think but I brought Will Warren up, and his feedback on Will Warren was exactly what we're reading publicly. That he, I think the organization is excited about the guy. I love Will Warren. I watched him a lot in Somerset, and I think he's a player that could make an impact this year. And you think of him as a starter, but who knows? I mean, there may be a role for him this year in some long relief. So you just never know what they're thinking and where they're plugging it in. And
Michael
the other
King
thing,
role.
Sure. Exactly. And that's my own insight. That's not them saying it. Because I do think part of what has enabled me to kind of enter that world and be mixing it up with these guys and the players is a certain level of trust, you know, and they know that they can sit in my Jeep and have conversations with their agent or, you know, their family while I'm driving and going to the next event. And they know I'm not going to be yapping about it on Twitter or X or Facebook or, you know, and that to me is, you guys get it, man. It's a tight knit group. You know, there's how many guys on the roster? What, 25?
Yeah, we're 26 now. Now that it's
26 now.
It's like 26 now. But still, it's that level of trust that you build with them over the time that you've been doing this stuff, Frank. And like you said, that pinstripe event that happened this weekend, you was there last year as a paying customer trying to network. And look how the universe works itself out. Now you out here putting a lot of these events together, and you're giving opportunity to a lot of independent content creators. And that's why I always got to give you your flowers, Frank. You look out for me. You look out with Jake, Lauren, and all the other content creators that showed up over the weekend. So it was a great weekend. I just want to take a pause real quick just to show everybody we got Frank up here, but also salute to our guy 01LS1Z2ADABX. He brought a coffee and he shouted out salute 3 capital S's. Appreciate you for that, guys. We got Frank here, right? So we got to go do the duck races. So you guys know it is a $4.99 buy-in for the duck race. It is a $10 buy-in for the Morning Brew Sports when it comes to our giveaway for our merch. I want to just show you guys our merch store that we launched. Shout out to our guy Phil Porto, because he was working hard behind the scenes to get this launched. So we got the website up, and here is our merch store. We got mugs that will be going on, Morning Brew Sports mugs. We got some Aaron Judge sweaters. We got some Jet stuff. We got a Morning Brew travel mug. You can get a travel mug as well. But if you put the $10 for the buy-in, it could get a raffle for the coffee cups. You could get the regular Morning Brew coffee cup, or you could get the Aaron Judge coffee cup. We got to wake up and get your coffee t-shirt as well. Again, shout out to our guy Phil, because he was working hard behind the scenes. Appreciate you, Phil, as well. And guys, like I said, it is $4.99 for the buy-in when it comes to the Frank Luna duck race. But if you want to jump in for the Morning Brew Sports stuff, it is a $10 buy-in. All of this that's going on today will contribute to what we're doing, trying to get the guys up to New York City. Because like I said, oh wait, where's Franco? There he is. Because like I said, at the end of the month, we're going to be at Madison Square Garden doing a special Knicks Morning Brew, and we'll also be at spring training. So you guys will be helping us out tremendously with all of that. Now, before we continue, I want to shout out the chat real quick. There's some people in the chat. Listen, I know a lot of Yankee fans are upset. Trust me, because this offseason didn't work out how we wanted it to work out. Yamamoto was the big fish. But like I brought up earlier, when you look at the LA Dodgers, they're going to have a lot of pitching concerns for that first half of the season. Like I said, Walker Buehler, he'll be there in the rotation. Yamamoto will be there in the rotation, but Dustin May is coming back off an injury. Clayton Kershaw coming back off an injury. Yamamoto is a big question mark. You don't know what he's going to do over here in the States. And when you look at it, the big ticket this offseason, Ohtani will not be pitching this season. So if you're a Yankee fan, you got to feel good about this team. Just to let you guys know, our friend Jake from the Bronx Zoo will be joining us at 11 a.m. So just tune in. Jake will be joining us. I want to talk about, Frank, I'm not sure if you was tuned in or anything, but Pecota. Pecota is an algorithm, is a company that they do projections for MLB teams when it comes to the win losses. Last year, Pecota projected the Yankees around 90 wins. They finished at 82. So when it comes to Pecota, they're not 100% right, but they get it as close as possible. Yesterday it came out, and a lot of Yankee fans was losing their mind, but Pecota has the New York Yankees finishing first place in the American League East this season, 94.5 wins. The Toronto Blue Jays, 88 wins, but the Baltimore Orioles, 86 wins. That is surprising to me. Also, Andy Martino put it out there. The Pecota standings has the Yankees as the 4th favorite to make it to the World Series. You got the Braves at 18%. You got the Dodgers at 17.1, the Astros at 12.1, and the Yankees with a 10.8% chance to make it to the World Series. So, TC, I'm going to start with you, and then we'll throw it around to my guy, Frank. Folks, like I said, if you want, drop the super chats. We'll enter you in for the Duck Race giveaway. Put the quack in the chat. Frank may be having some technical difficulties because he's checking in from from his car. But TC, I'll throw it over to you. What's your thoughts when it comes to Pecota?
Yeah, they're usually pretty right on. You know, the 94 wins for the Yankees. There you go. I think that's a little low. I mean, I honestly think they're about a 97, 98 win team.
Yeah.
You know, I have them probably challenging for the East. I mean, Blue Jays and Orioles are going to be right there. Blue Jays win projection is probably about right. The Orioles 86 wins. I think that's a little bit low. I don't see them having the same year they did last year. They're going to be the hunted. You know, they're the targets on their back because everybody sees what they did last year. You know, last year they came out of nowhere. So yeah, it's going to be a fight. The East is going to be a fight. Yeah. It's going to be you know, you never count out Tampa Bay. Boston, forget about it. I kiss them goodbye. But I see a 4-team race, at least for the first half of the season. It's going to be tough. And as far as the projections for the World Series, I think that's right on. I think the Braves and Dodgers, of course, are going to be the top picks. And the Astros got a little better. They got Hector. So Yankees got a lot of work cut out for them. I hope the health is a big factor. I don't know if that's factored in the Pecota the ratings, but
I think it is. I think they're expecting Carlos Rodon to make a big bounce back.
Yeah.
And just so people know, Frank, I know Frank time is limited right now, so we're gonna have Frank with us for the next 5 minutes. He's gonna dip out, but we will announce it later on today when it comes to the announcement, when it comes to the duck races. Frank, I want to throw it over to you and just, you know, shoot the shit with you before you dip out. But when it comes to this team, I know we've talked about our expectations, but realistically, how many wins do you see this team doing?
I could see them in that 96 to 100 range. I mean, would they get hit last year? 82, right?
82 with the injuries, yeah.
I mean, if you just put Judge in that lineup, then what are they? A 90-win team? I don't know. I mean, worse, right? Like
88
minimum,
at least.
Yeah, 80. You know, so now you're talking. Rodon bounces back a little bit. You see something out of Nestor. I think Stroman is an upgrade to kind of some of the pitching that we had coming out last year. I mean, Clark Schmidt at the 5 right now, like he could probably be a 3 or 4 on a lot of different teams. So, I mean,
Juan Soto adds 5 wins, right?
Bro, I think that's the thing that I think like any Yankees fan who's upset about the Yamamoto thing, I get that. I understand that. Like I was one that I don't think, and Boone said this at an event, like I don't think anybody expected the Ohtani impact to be as big as it was with Yamamoto. Yamamoto was apparently living in LA during this whole process. Yeah, so like you guys know, man, if you're living with if you're living near one of your buddies, right, and you're like trying to figure out where you're going to play, like you just won a World Baseball Classic, like you can play with the best player ever from your country, dude. You're picking that 10 out of 10 times. I don't care who you are, who you think you are. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not as disappointed in that because I think the Yankees were in the hunt and they should have been. The Corbin Burns thing, you know, look, I mean, we gave up a lot for Juan Soto. So, you know, do you empty the farm system again for Corbin Burns? So is he that big of an upgrade from Stroman right now at like your 3 spot? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, and you know, the other part of this, like, this is not the final roster. This is the final roster right now. So if you don't think the Yankees are going to be hyperactive over the, you know, before the trade deadline, over the first few months of the season, going through spring training, we may see, you know, somebody really doing something. Remember, Anthony Volpe was not the starting shortstop in spring training last year. Right? Well, unless I'm missing, so he was not the start. That was probably Peraza's spot to lose.
Yeah. And he just had Volpe just had such an amazing spring training. He won the job. He took it from Peraza. I know going into it, I thought Volpe probably needed a little bit more seasoning. But like Frank just said, a lot of fans going into spring training thought the job was going to be Peraza's to lose and for Volpe to win. And that's what he did. Volpe won. So like Frank point, my secret, I'm not secret, but I think he's flying under the radar. It's going to surprise a lot of people. Is Jose Trevino. You brought him up. We saw him his first year with the Yankees. The man was an all-star with the New York Yankees. His bat carried us for like a month and a half as well. Off the top of my head, I can say they were at minimum at least 5 games that Jose Trevino, his bat and his glove, contribute to us getting a win. We got a super chat real quick. I want to shout out Uncle Tats. He brought us 3 coffee. Uncle Tats, I appreciate you. He said, I love this family of ours and can't wait to see the interviews and videos from spring training. Uncle Grandpa Tats, I appreciate you. And my guy Anthony Medina with the $9.99. Hey guys, what's up? Just wanted to show some support for the channel. Hector, my friend, I see great things for you in the future and wish you nothing but the best, my guy. Salute. I appreciate you, my brother Anthony Medina. Frank, we're gonna let you get out of here, bro. But before we get out of here, what happened?
You're muted.
Oh no, you're muted, Frank. I can't hear you. You may have to refresh and jump back in because it may be an audio issue. Yeah, just refresh it. Yeah, just refresh and jump back in because Frank has to let us know what the giveaways are for today. But we got Anthony Medina. He has been locked into a giveaway. Uncle Grandpa Tots has been locked into a giveaway as well. Folks that buy us coffees or give us super chats will be locked in for the giveaway as well. There it is. There you go, Frank. Sorry about that, Frank. Yeah, but
no.
Before you get out here, Frank, just let the folks know what are the raffles. What are we giving away this morning or today?
I don't know if you guys have time for it, but let's do 3 things because I know this is important. This is an important feed for you guys. I know you're
appreciate
hustling
you, Frank.
Nah, man, I know you're trying to get down to spring training, and I'll be down there a bunch myself, I think. So I'll have to make sure we link up.
Definitely.
Just because you mentioned it, I want to do a Trevino thing. And it's going to be an official Major League Baseball signed by Jose Trevino.
Okay.
That's a high end product. You know, you're not getting that for less than $80 probably. I want that to go to the grand prize winner. So you guys pick that out. The second thing we'll do is an Aaron Boone 8x10 from the ALCS home run. I mean, come on, autographed. I mean, you can never go wrong with that picture.
You have that?
I don't care. Yeah. He did sign a few of those though. And then the final thing, let's do like a Oswaldo Cabrera rookie card.
Okay, Cabrera
autographed. You know, we'll do those 3 things. And you guys, I wish I could be on for the duck races, but I got a couple of meetings I'm in and out of today. But look, man, it's a good day for a good day. The Yankees are coming back soon. It's just let's have fun with this stuff. And you guys are building that community. I love it. I'm happy to be a part of it. And you know.
I wasn't gonna at least come up and say what's up to Frank. What up, Frank?
I appreciate you, fellas. Look, I love you guys. I wish I wasn't in the middle of a few meetings.
It's all good.
I would be with you all morning. But those will be the 3 things we'll give away. Again, man, just keep up the positivity. Get down to Tampa. Keep making moves. Because like I said, man, last year I was a paying customer at that event, and this year I was literally sitting next to the manager of the New York Yankees for 2 hours. It's crazy.
You never know.
So
Frank, brother,
appreciate you, fellas. Seriously,
real recognized real at the end of the day. I appreciate you, my guy. I'm gonna make sure when I'm down there in Florida, I'm gonna bring you a T-shirt that says "Today is a good day for a good day." Frank, love you, my guy.
That's it, baby. That's it. I love you guys too. Be good. All right, we'll see you
later, brother. Later, brother. That was our friend, our guy, Mr. Frank Luna, an amazing human being. I want to take a second, shout out the chat. We got some fire, amazing items to be given away, and it's going to be for the rest of the day. It's not just only going to be for now. We're going to build this up for the rest of the day, so you guys have time to come in, drop your super chats, enter in for the conversation. We got a Met fan in the building. Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. My friend Josh, aka
he's never gonna retire.
Julio is in the building. How are you doing, Josh? I appreciate you, my God. Is John Sterling going to retire? Absolutely not. My man, he would be taxidermied and still be at the Yankee Stadium calling Yankee games. They'll just replay his old audio back from back in the day. But shout out to my guy Josh. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. The link is in the chat right there. If you guys can, go to buymeacoffee.com/morningbrewsports. Help us with our goal. We got about like 15 more minutes before 11 o'clock. That's when our friend Jake from the Bronx Zoo will be joining us. We'll have an open panel as well, rocking along. But I want to go back to the Pecota thing. I want to bring it up real quick because people in the chat, especially Uncle Grandpa Tats, Uncle Tats brought it up. It said, I'm wondering if Pecota was expecting the Baltimore Orioles to have the sophomore blues, that second year jinx. What's your thoughts, TC? Because for me, when it comes to the Baltimore Orioles, especially after adding Corbin Burns, you would think they'll be the favorite for the American League East. So I want to know what's the thought process. Maybe this year, I've said it before, last year, nobody was expecting the Orioles to be as good as they were, right? So they crept up. They a lot of teams slept on them, and they was able to hit them with that uppercut to knock them out. This year, people are going to be expected the Baltimore Orioles to be good. So there's going to be some added pressure, especially to a lot of second-year players. TC, what's your thoughts about Pecota? Folks in the chat, let us know as well. What's your thoughts about Pecota? We got 56 people in the building. Our guy just brought us 5 coffee. I appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, fam. And we also, I think we just got an order for one of our merch. Appreciate you as well. We're processing that as well. Merch. So the guy 01, I know he brought some merch. It should be shipped. You should have it in the next couple of days. Let us know when that merch comes in. And for you that just purchased the merch, it will be processing. We will get it out to you. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. I think it's going to be the sophomore jinx. You know, I just don't see them having the same year. I mean, we saw how Tampa Bay started off last year. What were they, like 20-0 or something? I mean, just some ridiculous. It doesn't happen. Those things that's very rare. So what the Orioles put together last year, they don't have the talent. They have young, good players, but they don't have the talent to be putting up 100 win seasons year after year after year. And even with the Corbin Burns addition, I mean, that's a couple wins. I think it's a little low. Honestly, I do think that's a little low. 86 wins. I see them right up there with the Yankees. They're going to be having 94, 95 wins. But again, they're not. I don't think they're going to run away with the division. It's going to be a dogfight. Some of their guys are going to regress. They have Henderson, Rushman. I mean, they got some Jackson Holiday. I forgot he's coming up. So they have some explosive guys in their offense. But again, to put it all together and everybody have a healthy, great season, it's just rare every year in, year out. So targets on their back, and Pecota definitely took that in consideration, because that 86 win, that's pretty low.
My guy in the chat right now saying, I'm wearing the sweatshirt as we speak. Couldn't be happier. Thanks for all the behind the scenes work. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for your patience, because we had a lot of issues back and forth. I know you placed your order back in October. It's no excuses, but I'm glad we was able to get it out to you. If you're on Twitter, if you're on social media, if you could just take a picture, throw it up there, and tag us in the picture, Morning Brew Sports, so we could show everybody. I appreciate you. Shout out to my guy, Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball. Richie, how you doing, my guy? Salute to you. Salute to you. Hopefully, my guy Richie can join us for about like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I know he's working right now. Take your lunch break early and join us on the open panel, my guy Richie. I hope all is well. Chris N is in the building. My guy FL Divers in the building. How you doing? Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you.
JC.
And like Celso says, enter for the morning 3 giveaways, $5 super chats, and you will enter in for the giveaway. Anthony Medina just brought us 5 coffee as well. Anthony Medina, I appreciate you. That's a double entry for Medina, because he dropped the super chat and then he brought us the 5 coffees as well. Appreciate you, Anthony Medina. Appreciate all of you guys that are supporting us. But the Yankees did make a trade, right? We got to talk about it. It's a lefty
Sneaky trade.
We got Gates. Gates was here and Gates was gone, and Yankees traded for Caleb Ferguson, who, Caleb Ferguson's contract, and this is an important thing. His contract for this season, $2.4 million. Josh Hader is going to make $19 million next year. My guy, Yankees Realist on Twitter says, this is how you effectively spend your money, and something we haven't seen from Brian Cashman in years. Value over names. That's the key point right there. Value over names. Caleb Ferguson back in 2022, in 37 games, he pitched to an ERA 1.82 ERA. Last year for the Dodgers, in 68 games, so just basically like almost a double of his appearances, he pitched to ERA 3.43. I am happy Caleb Ferguson is our lefty coming out of the bullpen. I know we made another trade with the Dodgers earlier for another lefty, so we got two solid lefties coming out of the bullpen. Thank God Nick Ramirez is not our go-to lefty out the bullpen. That's all I can say. Low-key move, very low-key move from Brian Cashman. This move and the other move we made with the Dodgers, both those trades for both those lefties relievers, like my guy Yankees Realist said, value over names. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, love this move. This is a Ninja Cashman move. It's a heist. It's a real heist. I mean, they gave up Matt Gage, who basically they just grabbed off, DFA'd off the Astros roster, and someone, I think another like a Dominican league guy that they had. I don't even know if he was in single A. For Caleb Ferguson, a proven left-handed pitcher, great ground ball rate. Fastballs sitting at 96, 97, a tall lefty. His numbers aren't great against lefties, but hey, Matt Blake will work with this kid, and hey, I see him fitting in a bunch of roles. He could be a middle guy, he could be a starter, spot starter like opener, and he could also help Clay Holmes in closing. He's closed. He's been in high leverage situations, and I see him coming in some late inning, moves and getting some big outs. And this was a real good deal. And you bring up the salary, $2.4 million. Yeah, for a proven guy like this, left-handed. Him and Victor Gonzalez, they're good. We don't feel the loss of Wandy Peralta as much now, and I think the bullpen got a lot better. And I do feel I feel comfortable now going into the season with two good lefties to go along with what we have now. We have Loizaga and Hamilton and Efros and Holmes. And so we'll I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, and don't get it confused with how I started the conversation talking about Caleb Ferguson. At no point, right? I'm sane enough to say Caleb Ferguson is nowhere on the same level as Josh Hader. I'm not saying that he's on the same level. I'm not saying he's better than Josh Hader. But what I'm saying is that $2.4 million over $19 million for a reliever, that's quality right there. You're saving yourself 16 to 17 million. I get it. Would I rather have Josh Hader on my roster than Caleb Ferguson? Absolutely. But I know when it comes to the money, when it comes to the draft picks, and when it comes to everything else that's attached to Josh Hader, Caleb Ferguson is the better option. Definitely is the better option. And like people in the chat are saying, it's the little moves. You have to add little moves to your team to help build the championship team. And I've been saying that for the longest. As great as Mariano Rivera was, don't get me wrong, we don't have a Mariano on this team, so don't even say that in the chat. But as great as Mariano Rivera was, we needed to have a Mike Stanton in that bullpen, right? Yeah. There needed to be a Graham Lloyd in that bullpen, Ramiro
that's who he reminds me
bullpen. We needed guys to bridge the gap to get the ball to the closer, and that's what Caleb Ferguson could do. I don't think anyone's going to say that Nick Ramirez would be a better option over Caleb Ferguson. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ferguson, like TC said, it makes us, okay, we lost Wandy Peralta. He signed 4 years with the Padres. We was a little bit upset. We was a little bit frustrated. But the team, they did improve the bullpen. And even when you compare to Wandy Peralta, Caleb Ferguson is younger, and his stuff is a little bit more nastier than a Wandy Peralta. Even though Caleb Ferguson is a 3-pitch pitcher, he has his fastball, he has a cutter, and he has a slurve. He is still a little bit better than Wandy Peralta. That's all I'm going to say when it comes to that.
Yeah,
Go ahead, TC.
I agree. I mean, these low key moves are what wins World Series. And you know, back in the day when the Yankees had the dynasties, they picked up these low key moves. Hey, it's not always putting together, you know, the biggest free agents and the all stars and hey, they've tried that. It didn't work. So I salute Cashman with these moves. He does very well with the bullpen. That's where I give him the 5 stars. He makes these moves, and the bullpen is where it's at. Starting pitching, not so much. And you know, and then we also forget we got Juan Soto. We forget because that was so long ago. But Juan Soto is here, guys, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal. But yeah, salute to Cashman with this deal, and I love it. I love this deal.
And NFE makes a great point in the chat as well. With the luxury tax, Ferguson is going to cost you $5 million because of the luxury tax. You double it, right? Josh Hader is going to cost you $38 million because of the luxury tax penalty. Are we going to realistically? You guys paying You guys comfortable with the Yankees paying a closer $38 million to be your closer? I know I'm not. I'm not comfortable with that, especially with the way that Yankee fans were complaining about Marcus Stroman getting $18 million, $38 million for Josh Hader. Not comfortable with that. Uncle Grandpa Tats with the $4.99 entered into the duck race for the giveaways with Frank Luna. Ferguson doesn't have to be Hader. He has to be an upgrade in the bullpen. That's it. Uncle Tats, you hit it right on the head. He doesn't have to be Josh Hader. He just has to be an upgrade in the bullpen. And when you look at it, Caleb Ferguson does make that bullpen a hell of a lot better, especially with the names that I brought up, like Nick Ramirez as being the only fucking lefty we got coming out of that bullpen. I'm sorry. I do not want that whatsoever. I'm going to bring my guy Celso up because I know Celso wants to come up and he has an announcement to make to the people in the chat, the people that are watching us. Celso,
can't have a show without Celso.
Yo, how awkward is it with this headset on? I'm not used to wearing a headset like this. I want to come in prepared for 10 hours.
You look like you look like the new defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. That's what you look like right now.
Listen, I know we got our guests. I know we got our guests backstage, but you know what? We've got 3 giveaways, bro, and people have already been donating and helping. Thank you guys so much in the chat. I put it in there. I had to. Just you guys showing your support means so much. But you know what? We should have a cutoff for at least one giveaway right now.
Let's do the first one.
I'm gonna cut one off right now. You know what?
All right. So I'm gonna say this one is gonna be for the Aaron Boone sign.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the Aaron Boone signing.
The 8x10.
The 8x10.
All right, so all those that have done their super chat so far have been entered. Guys, this doesn't eliminate you from the other 2 giveaways. We're just cutting off one giveaway right now because you were the first one. So early bird worm, whatever the shit is.
Whatever the phrase is. But also, shout out to our guy Frank Luna, who was just on, but he just left. But these giveaways would not be possible without our guy Frank Luna and the work that he does in the Yankee community. Go ahead, Celcito. Let's do the duck race. And Jake, I know you backstage.
We're bringing you up
backstage, Jake. We're gonna bring you up. We're gonna bring you up soon. Enjoy the duck race. Free entertainment for you, brother. Come on.
And if you guys want to be entered in for the Cabrera autograph rookie card and you want to get in for the Trevino signed baseball, get those super chats in. Buy the coffee. Every single penny is getting us out to New York City for a New York Knicks event this end of the month, and then a whole week at spring training where we've got player interviews. We got all kinds of things lined up, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We just need to get there, so every penny counts. Let's do a duck race.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the race for the giveaway. Let the race begin. And we're off. Are we hearing the quacking? Is the quacking coming through? Are we good? Here we go. We got.
I think everybody knows that if their duck comes out first, they're gonna lose.
In the lead, we got 0-1 LS1Z2ADABX looking like a rooster trying to trick people, but Spider Ducky comes in with the grandpa Uncle Tats taking the lead. Spider-Man, you know better than that. You gotta wait till the
don't sleep on DJ Steels.
Swing DJ Steele, but don't sleep on Damian Serrano.
Yo, why does the other grandpa Tats in the red costume look like an Albanian flag on his stomach? Do you see that?
We got 20 seconds left on the clock. Who is walking away with that?
Steels.
8x10 Aaron
Here
Boone
comes
autograph
Steels.
in the league. We got DJ
Steels.
Steels coming through, looking all red and fancy. Someone's coming to suck your blood from the back. The vampires are coming. Who's creeping
David
up?
Rios.
David
Rios.
Rios coming for the win.
David Rios gets the Aaron Boone autograph. Shout out to my guy David Rios. David, message us, media team at Morning Brew Sports. Give us your information so we could get that over to Frank so we can make sure that you get your giveaway. That's entertainment. I always love the duck races. It's very exciting. So we're going to bring up our guest, our guy from the Bronx Zoo, our guy Jake. Jake, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock. My guy with the thumbs up. Jake from the Bronx Zoo. How you feeling, big
Jake?
fella?
What's up? Got the Bronx. I'm in the car right now.
Yeah.
I apologize, but what's going on?
All good. All good. Reception is good. Signal's good. Everything is good. Look like the Yankees for 2024. Jake, how you feeling?
I'm waiting for spring training and I'm waiting for opening day. I'm counting the minutes, the seconds. I can't wait. I feel like we all got that excitement back.
Oh, no, we definitely do. Jake, real quick, for folks in the chat that don't know my guy Jake from the Bronx Zoo, what are you doing with your life? You living on the Iraq? Wake the fuck up, okay? This is my guy Jake from the Bronx Zoo. Outside of Yankee Stadium, he goes to as many Yankee games as possible. Jake, off the top of your head, for the people in the chat that don't know who you are, give them a little spill. Let them know who you are, where you're from, and also how many games did you go last year when it comes to the Yankee season at the stadium? Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, so I am Jake Kozak, host of the Bronx Zoo, the first ever baseball fan show, the first of its kind, a show by the fans, for the fans. It's been the mantra since we started. Anyone who watches know that's true. It's never been about me. It's about getting the voices out there. I try to show off opinions. I try to bring humor to the game unlike it's ever been seen before. And I try and show the passion and the love and the desire to win from Yankee fans outside the stadium, because unlike everywhere else in baseball, the party just starts once you leave the game. And we bring that outside gate 6. I'd say, I didn't even count up how many. I can tell you the first. I labeled it differently with all my footage, because anything we've ever filmed, I've saved. So I labeled it. I think the first year, including playoffs, we got out to about 40 games. I'd say last year, with traveling and different things to different places, I'd say we got out to around maybe 30 last year. But what we did this past year, especially this off season, we kind of leveled up, and we have gone to an unbelievable amount of events, and we're covering Yankee events, whether it be with our guy Frank Luna, autograph shows, just so many things. And I think a year ago, last year, we had one on-screen interview with a Yankee. I'd say the past year we've gotten roughly 80 Yankees, former Yankees, celebrities. Last night we just were on Arthur Avenue with Chaz Palminteri to do a sit-down discussion about A Bronx Tale.
Nice. Amazing.
So but to me, it's if you're a Yankee fan, that's all that matters. A player could be a fan, the owner could be a fan. So I treat every interview the same. Everything is equal in my eyes.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I always give you your flowers for, Jake, because Jake, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be the president of the United States. You could be a little kid that's 3 years old outside of Yankee Stadium. Jake is going to give you the same time and the same respect for everyone. He don't treat anybody different than the next person. But, when I was at that Aaron Boone event, you was there with me as well. Thank you for your hospitality, helping me out that event as well. But Jake had a very important question to ask Aaron Boone, and folks in the chat would appreciate this. My guy Jake, he asked him, do the Yankees listen to the fans? And Jake, let the people in the chat know what was the response from Aaron Boone. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I when I do interviews with the players, I personally don't try and go into what do you think the team's going to be like this year? What is this? I want to know exactly what I've always wanted to ask them, and find a new angle, because there's so much content out there. I wanted to be creative, and I'm thinking to myself, man, like, on what level are we being listened to? Like, what level is it that the fans' opinion comes into play? Because obviously, on a monetary level, the fans' opinions are going to matter because that's what brings the revenue. But, and I didn't mean it as much as what, like, are you in the dugout listening to us chirping behind the dugout? I meant it like, when it comes down to it, when you see the level of interest on the Bronx Zoo that players to get this guy or sign this guy, like, do you truly care? And I think he gave a good answer. He said, you know, this organization was built upon the fans, which, you know, other organizations that did expansion teams, I think, you know, they built the fan base up after they built the organization. The Yankees are embedded with New York. And, you know, 1923, you know, the fans came out, Babe Ruth, you know, they came together at the same time. So I think he gave a strong answer, just that, yeah, of course it matters. You know, the fans' opinions, you know, you can't help but hear it. I mean, especially in social media, you can't help but hear, you know, what we have to say.
Most passionate fans.
Yeah, you know, you guys know me, I'm not for the negativity. I don't. I'm negative about too much in my life half the time. I don't want to be negative about the thing I love most. So I understand though when people show frustrations, but I mean that I'm sure that gets to them too. And how can they help but not see it?
Yeah, and also too, you know, you weren't being facetious when it came to the question that you was
I
asking.
truly meant it.
Yeah, when you was at, and then Boone at the same time, he brought you to a side of himself that most fans don't know that is there. You could tell that Aaron Boone off the field, even on the field, he is tapped in. He wants to make sure that we win. He's not there just to get a check, because if that's the case, a lot of these events, he wouldn't be showing up to these events because he ain't getting paid for these events. He gets paid to be the manager of the New York Yankees. He don't get paid to be in Oceanport, New Jersey. He don't get paid to be with John Boy and down there in the city. So when it comes to Aaron Boone, he is out there being on the street, answering the questions, and he's not scared and he's not running away, Jake, right? So I want to take a second, shout out the chat real quick. We got Big Time Jerry in the building. Big Time Jerry. How you doing, my guys? Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. If you guys can, please smack that like button. We got over 73 people in the building. We're sitting on 50 likes. We're trying to run the likes up. Let's run the likes up on this stream. We are at 3,416 on the subscribers, on our way to 4K. So if you guys can, smack the like button, smack the subscribe button, and we still have a chance for you guys to enter in for the giveaway. Drop the super chats, the $4.99 for the Frank Luna giveaway or the $10.99 for the Morning Brew. We are at $562. We set our goal for 3,000. We are almost at a quarter there. Make sure you guys, if you guys can help us out. Our guy Oswaldo with a $20 super chat. He got some questions for us. Jake, you ready? Bregman walks, 89 million coming off for the books. Burns, 8 years, 250 million. Should we extend Volpe and Dominguez now? 4, if we repeat a bad season, do you see Cashman gone? Can't wait to watch your interviews at spring training. Acevedo, I appreciate you. Jake, let's tackle the first question when it comes to Bregman. I know you went down to Houston to deal with those lunatics down there with the Houston Astros. So I'm going to ask you, when it comes to Alex Bregman, do you think the Houston Astros, we heard rumors about them wanting to trade him, would they let him walk? What's your thoughts on that?
I think the Astros would let anyone walk because they have another guy in the wings. And they do have a phenomenal farm system. I can't take that away. They know how to develop talent. I do think that he's one of those guys that, like, I know they just extended Altuve. They have not had to invest that much money into Altuve as they should have. I think, you know, break the bank for him. They're going to have to break the bank for Kyle Tucker. And Yordan Alvarez still has a couple years. I say, why not? I mean, it's not like they have that much money invested across their rotation. They continue to find talent there. I don't want him. I'll be the first one to say, if that question was arising, I don't want Bregman on the Yankees. I can't. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't want to switch it up. You know? And there's other teams out there. Corbin Burns, I think, will get more than 8 years, 250 if he has a phenomenal season. I think he could get into that 275 mark. Volpe and Dominguez, extend them right now. I mean, look what they just did. You know, the Tigers have done it a couple times.
The Atlanta Braves, they're the masters of extending their young kids. You know, you saw with the Tampa Bay Rays, even though that dude's an idiot, he's probably never going to play baseball again. But Wander Franco was extended by the Rays at a very early stage. When it comes to both Dominguez and Volpe, I'll talk on Volpe right now. From the Yankees, I'm giving him 10 years, 150 mil, 15 million per season. Volpe showed me enough last year, 20 and 20, that he could build off of that. And still, if you just think about it, just think about the production. A shortstop, Gold Glove, 2020. That's more than 15 million per season. Just that alone.
I think. I mean, Wander got 10 years, 200.
He got.
Arguably, Volpe did more. He won the Gold Glove. He got the hardware, right?
Yeah.
So I think 200 mil for a shortstop for 10 years. He becomes a free agent. He has 3 more good years. He could, and he looks like a guy who's just going to be reliable in the field no matter what. He doesn't look like a health concern. He stays in very good shape. He's young. I think you make that investment 10 years for 200 mil. And with Dominguez, you know, I think you could get little cheaper because of the injury and because of what he produced already. I think you extend him to I think it was Ozzy Albies, 8 years around 175. I could be off on that.
Ozzy Albies signed a very team-friendly deal, and some of the broadcasters got in trouble because they were saying that this guy doesn't know how to add or do math or anything like that, and they got called out by the Braves, and they got they were reprimanded for it. But no, I agree with you, Jake. If you want to have a base level, and TC, I'll throw it over to you to get your take on it. For Volpe, a base level of 150 with some incentives to bring that contract up to 250 mil. I'm happy with that. Give him the base of 150, make some all-star games, get some MVP votes, and bring that up to 250. I'm good with that over the next 10 years. You got your shortstop for the future. If you got to move him to second base because Roger Arias comes up or George Lombard Jr. comes up, then you just move him around the bases. Around the diamond. TC, want to throw it over to you. Get your takes real quick about that question. And also a phenomenal question, my guy, Oswaldo. Thank you so much for the donation and for such a dope question as well. We'll get to part 4 after this, but go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I was actually just going to bring that up about Volpe and the Roderick Arias. I know, Dane, a friend of the show, has always said Roderick Arias is a super stud at short. And it could be a possibility that Volpe does move to second when he comes up. So, but yeah, 10 for 15. That's do it now. He's got the tools. He might not be the best shortstop. He won a Gold Glove, but hey, the guy's got speed. He's once he finds his swing, I think he's a 260, 275 hitter with at least 25 home runs. 50 steals a year. Great, good. Spark plug, and I do see him leading off eventually, but. As far as Corbin Burns, I think he's definitely going to get somewhere in the 275, 300 possibly. That's Yankees could make a bid for him, but they got to worry about getting signing Juan Soto. So that's their first priority. Bregman, I could leave Bregman.
That should be number one. Juan Soto should be the number one priority. Go ahead, TC. My fault.
Right. Yeah. No worries. Bregman, on the other hand, I don't know I don't know what kind of contract he's going to be looking for, but I think I might pass on him. I don't know. Anyone on the Astros to me is just I'm very salty on them. So I prefer not to have. I prefer not to have any of them on our team. And what was the other question? Dominguez too as well. Dominguez. Yes, I would lock them up. I don't know, 10 years. Yeah, he's only 20. What is he? 22, 20. What is Dominguez? 21?
Dominguez is 22 as of yesterday.
Yeah,
22.
He's 22 as of yesterday.
Yeah,
he just turned
10
22.
years. He's going to be phenomenal. If we could lock up Soto and Judge, oh my good, that outfield is phenomenal. That's tremendous. So do it now. Copy what the Braves are doing. And they're going to build a core 4 like a dynasty team like they had in the late 90s. So I'm all for that.
I want to shout out Anna Marie in the chat. Anna Marie, did y'all see Patrick Bet-Davis interview with Bauer? No, I haven't. Right. But what I was going to do was next week, I was going to stream the interview and we was going to watch it live and react to it. So we're going to do that next week. I haven't seen the interview yet, but like I always say to you guys, Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you guys can be tuned in to all the great content we got coming out. Jake, I want to ask you because, you know, Jason Dominguez was brought up. You were at the stadium when he made his like debut. You was there for all that.
Yeah.
What was the fans' reactions to Jason Dominguez, specifically the young fans? Because I know you go out of your way to make sure young fans are heard. So what was it from the young fans being able to see the Martian for the first time? Go ahead, bro.
It was electric. I mean, same with Volpe. People were amped. Kind of brought the same energy that we needed. That 20, I call it the 2022 energy. That 2022 energy was just, it was beautiful. It was unmatched. I think we're going to see the same thing with Soto. And that first time that you have a lineup of Dominguez, Soto, and Judge in there, Volpe, I think the place is going to be electric. I'm picturing a Friday night in the Bronx, playing the Red Sox, maybe in July. I think Soto hits 2 home runs. Judge gets an RBI single. I think the place is going to go nuts. And people love a homegrown talent story. Dominguez grew up through the system. We've heard about his name for 16 years. And I think if the team was a little better last year, was more in contention, I think if they called him up earlier, I think we actually would have had a real shot to actually contend. I stand by that. And that was a mistake. And it was also a mistake to keep Pereira and Peraza down. It was
everything they did last year was a mistake.
Huge mistake to send Oswaldo down. I know he struggled with offensive numbers, but what he did in September proved what he is as a player. I think that he proved that in 2022. So I think those high energy guys. I think we could say it now. Josh Donaldson wasn't bringing a certain type of energy on the field. I think IKF did, and best of luck to IKF. And best of luck to Donaldson. Nothing against him. He didn't work out. But it was just. Did he sign? Or is he still with
Donaldson? I haven't heard anything as of yet with Donaldson. I know his agent put it out there that Donaldson is not looking to retire, but if no one signs him, he may retire. But listen, when it comes to IKF, credit to IKF because that first year was a dumpster fire. He came back that second year and he gave us his all, right? And I've always said this: IKF didn't trade for IKF to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees. That was Brian Cashman, right? IKF was a third baseman that they tried to make into a shortstop, and that wasn't going to work out. But IKF, if there was one thing IKF did, he showed up every day. He hustled. Out of anyone that's in that lineup, he was one of the only few that would hit that ball on the ground and bust his ass out that batter's box. He was someone that was never lazy going up that first base line, and real Yankee fans recognize real at the end of the day. And when it comes to IKF, that hustle that he shows us, I will always have a place in my heart just for that. Everything else, of course, dumpster fire, like I said, but the hustle he showed, it was great. And a lot of Yankee fans, they were unfair with the way they treated IKF, just personally me, in my opinion. Jake, we're going to rock out for the next few minutes just because we're going to have the open panel and we got to get ready for our next stream, which is at like 12 for the Knicks stuff. But before we let you go, real quick, spring training is around the corner. Any special things you got planned for spring training? Let the folks know where could they expect you, where you're going to be at for spring training, bro.
Yep, we're trying to figure that out now. I'm hoping for the first week of March, might be the last week of March. I'm definitely going to be there at some point. Figure it out. Be outside Tampa for a couple days, doing our thing. I'll be inside. We might, try some beach stuff. Zoo on the beach. Zoo nice cars. Kind of on our brand. Just have some fun with it. That's the beauty of what we do. I talk baseball with anyone, and I can find the baseball conversation with anybody. So you can put me in the middle of anywhere across the country, and I'll find the Yankee fan or the baseball fan. So we're going to be doing it there for sure. And then come opening day, we'll be here every single game.
What's up, buddy?
Jake, this is Celso. This is Jake. Jake, my producer, my best friend also. Go ahead, Celso.
So I'm in here landing planes with this headset. I heard you say beach action. Look, if you're looking for a dad bod to help you guys get horrible content, I got you covered, bro. Just let me know. I'll be in Tampa for spring training. We got this, all right?
This guy.
Perfect.
All right.
Throw you on.
Yeah, and he is so serious. He eats Cheetos and nachos every day specifically to build that dad bod.
That's right. The off season, I've been at the computer editing, so you know what that does to you.
Yeah, no, definitely. As somebody who sits in front of the computer every day, I definitely know what that means, Jake. But no, Jake, listen, it's always an awesome time having conversation with you. I always appreciate you. Like I always tell people, my guy Jake from the Bronx Zoo, real recognized real at the end of the day. My guy has welcomed me into a lot of these events, showed me around a lot of these events. He don't got to do that. At the end of the day, he don't got to do that. He takes his time to help out the other content creators as well. So I just want to give you your flowers when it comes to that, Jake, my brother. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, Jake, appreciate it.
Yankee fans, we're all gonna help each other win.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Jake, I will be running down on you during the season at spring training as well. We definitely got a link in. And of course, before the season starts, we'd love to have you back on again, brother.
You just let me know. Love the Yankees morning brew.
Yeah,
appreciate
nice meeting you, Jake.
My guy. Jake,
Thanks,
I
guys.
appreciate you. Folks in the chat, I will put the link in the chat. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Bronx Zoo, make sure you guys subscribe to the Bronx Zoo. It's a lot of fun over there. But TC, what was your thoughts real quick on a conversation with Jake while I put the link for the open panel in the chat?
Yeah, good conversation. Good dude. I mean, he's got some great content, great, hanging out with you, helping you with some of the interviews and the events that were going on. I mean,
no, hold on. No, Jacob Petruzzi, no. The Detroit Pistons are finalizing the trade to send Alec Burks to the New York Knicks. Sources tell ESPN. I'm sorry, guys. We may have to cut the stream early. We may have to go live with some Knicks context. Absolutely not. I don't want Alex Burks. Go ahead, TC. I'm suffering over here. Go ahead, TC.
Oh, I thought that's what you were yelling for. I've been watching you on the Knicks. I thought you've been
hell
asking
no
for Burks. Oh, okay. All right.
Go ahead. TC.
No, Jake, good dude. Enjoyed talking with him. I'm gonna have to check out his content with man on the street. Asking real Yankee fans and being at the games, and it's that's how you get the real content. You get the real fans out there, listening to them. And I'm glad he asked that question about to Aaron Boone about the fans, if they really do listen, and they do. They actually listen. We're finding out that if it's not them, it's some of their PR guys or some behind the scenes. They're watching our content. They're watching shows. They want to hear what we feel about this team. And hey, so far so good. They've listened about changing this at least the lineup around. I mean, we've got some offensive additions, but we'll see how it goes. Spring training is right around the corner, and that one move that might put us over the top could happen. So we will see, and I can't wait to see more content from Jake and you as well. I'll see you guys team up and interviewing some guys on the beach there with your dad bods.
Oh yeah, first of all, I'm working on my dad bod. For those of you guys that don't
you're doing really well.
I haven't told anybody in the chat, right? From the beginning of the year, your boy was at 296. As of yesterday, I am sitting at a happy 274. Now, when it comes down to it, right? When it comes to the whole weight loss journey and everything like that, as long as you feel good in your body, that's all that matters at the end of the day. As long as you feel good and comfortable in your body, feel good and be comfortable in your body. Me personally, you guys know that I've been dealing with back issues since I got injured on the job. But if I'm going to be at these events, I'm going to be out there on the street, man on the street, I'm going to have to take care of myself and make sure my back is good. And a part of that is this right here. So yeah, at the beginning of the year, your boy was at 296. Right now I'm at 274. I do go, I do about like 4.5 miles a day on the elliptical to help me out, and it helps me better. So appreciate all you guys for rooting me on and cheer me on. But I got a few people in the chat I want to bring up real quick, because I know we got some Knicks stuff to talk about. But I'm going to bring up my guy, Damian Serrano, and I'm going to bring up my guy, Jonathan. Damian, let me get a thumbs up. Jonathan, let me get a thumbs up, and I'm going to bring both of you fellas up as well. Damian and Jonathan, how are we doing? Where's everybody at?
Yo,
there he is.
I was about to say, where's everyone? Dave, how you doing, Damian?
Yo, what's good, guys? What's going on?
Oh, there we go.
Bro.
There we go.
There it is.
Jonathan,
Dave,
how you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Yo,
how you fellas doing? You good? Damien, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the support with the coffees and stuff like that.
Of course.
Definitely appreciate your support. Jonathan as well, appreciate your support as well. Folks in the chat, appreciate your support. We are going to get down to spring training, and you'll probably see me in Damien's car doing a video with him, just so I can feel like how he feel. But go ahead, Damien.
No doubt.
Yours. and then throw it over to Jonathan. Go ahead.
Yo, first of all, I can't believe Alec Burks coming to New York for Quentin Grimes. Oh my God, really? Oh Jesus, my stomach. Anyway,
Quentin Grimes.
Oh man,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Quentin Grimes. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
There was a trade today.
What's that?
Was there a trade today?
Yeah, it literally just happened.
It just
happened.
I just came back from the gym.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make the open panel short or whatever, but you know, we may have to go live early with some Knicks stuff, but we'll keep the conversation rolling for the next like 5 to 10 minutes before we cut things off. So I'm gonna throw it over to Damien, so Damien can get his take real fast, and then throw it over to Jonathan. I got Caputo backstage. I'll bring him up so everybody can get their take at the same time. But go ahead, Dame, and then throw it over to Jonathan, and then throw it over to Caputis.
You know, one thing I just want to point out, you know, the Yankees remind me of bad credit. You know, the last 13 years, all right? Yeah, it's 13 years. Cashman has made, obviously, as we all know, terrible trades, so on and so forth. Anybody who's ever had bad credit and had to restructure that credit, nothing ever happened in 1 year. Nothing. You never got that 560 to 800 in 1 year. Never did it. Never will happen. So am I expecting the Yankees to be a playoff team? Absolutely, 1,000%. If they win a chip, even better. But for anybody to think that we're going to make this complete turnaround and go from what we went to last year to a World Series team and win a chip in over one season, it's not realistic. Unless you're throwing $400 to $500 million on the line. And no team in the world is ever going to do that. So I think we, as a fan base, we got to be realistic and, number one, appreciate the fact of what we got so far this season. It's a building block, right? And you got next season to add to that building block. And the Yankees still have a little bit of time to add some arms, so on and so forth. But I think for anybody to think that after what we went through the last 13 years, that it was going to turn around in one off season is completely unrealistic. So have they made the right trades in the last 13 years? No. Did they do right this past season? I think they did. They made a step forward. So am I happy all the way around? Not really. I'm happy with the progress. Am I happy with the team? I am happy with the team. But I don't think it's realistic for us to think that we're going to go to a World Series after what we did last year. And you know, one thing from the Martino report that you said brought up yesterday. When it comes to Cashman, Martino said nobody knew how close he was to quitting, and after right before he got that contract extension, he said including Hal Steinbrenner. So that tells me that if you're close to quitting, anybody that's close to quitting anything, whether it's a job, whatever the case may be, that means you don't have your heart completely into it. That means you've lost a little bit of fire. So I wish Cashman may have been, I wish he was a little bit more honest with Hal and letting him know how he felt. So that way we can start improving and getting the right people in here. And maybe that's why Saban and Minaya are in the fold right now. Maybe they are the predecessors. But if Cashman was ready to almost quit, I think his heart is really not as into it as we may want him to be. So
yeah, and listen, I think, you know, most Yankee fans will, if Brian Cashman decides to retire tomorrow, most Yankee fans will be won't feel negative when it comes to it. They'll celebrate it more than anything. But guys, we're gonna rock out for just like 5 more minutes, right? Just because this Knicks news just broke and we got to switch over to the Knicks stuff, so we could just make things fast.
Oh, hold on, we got Bogan by Bogdanovich. Let's go.
I know we try. I know. I'm trying to make a thumbnail as I talk.
That's huge
right now.
That's huge. I like that one. I do like that.
Jonathan, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Make it real fast, 60 seconds, and then Caputo and then NFE. My fault, guys, to cut this thing short.
I was listening to what you said earlier about Volpe, and
go ahead.
If it was me, I would offer Volpe a 10-year, $150 million contract. And if I'm the Yankees and I believe in Volpe that much, I'll offer him a 10-year, $150 million contract, and then we'll start next year. That is my opinion. I think Arias is going to be a great shortstop, but if I believe in Volpe, I offer him a 10-year, $150 million, and I lock him up. And this is what the Yankees need to to make their payroll more sufficient. They need to lock up the young players while they're still in arbitration. The last person they did that with was, I don't know, I think Cano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen. My mind is racing right now just because I got Yankees and Knicks on the brain. Caputo, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Make it fast, Caputo. We got 1 minute, and then throw it over to NFE. Go ahead, Caputo. And Caputo, just know I love you, no matter how frustrated you get. Go ahead.
They need a starting pitcher, man. I mean, this can't be. They said that this was an all-in season, so you have to go all in. If the other 29 teams in baseball made a move like Soto, they would go all in. They wouldn't say, okay, we're getting Soto, now we're going to stop. I mean, Soto's a World Series move, but the moves to follow Soto weren't. Like, Stroman's not a World Series move. Luke Weaver's not a World Series move. And the guy they traded from the Dodgers isn't. So, come on, man. It's 15 years. You're saying, after last season, they're not going to come right out like gangbusters and win the World Series. But this is the New York Yankees. We're a winning franchise. We're on the same level of the Lakers and the Celtics. I mean, we're a winning freaking franchise. I want this team to win now. It's a win now season. We're not worried about 25, 26, 27. We're in the now. So I don't know what this team is doing, honestly, and it just get me more pissed off by the hour. I don't know.
Listen, Caputo, I get it, bro. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But I promise you this, Caputo, I'm gonna take you to a game this season. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a beer at the stadium. I may buy you some chicken tendies. I may put my finger in your hair and roll that bitch around, right? But Caputo, just know this. I'm gonna be there watching these games just like you gonna be watching these games, right? So let's try to have that excitement for this season. And like I said, I will take you to a game this year. NFE, I'm gonna throw it over to you. 1 minute, my guy, and then I gotta throw it over my man.
Fellas,
Richie
real quick,
Rivera
I gotta go. Hector,
Dame,
I'll see you at the. Y'all be easy. I'll see you on the stream. Be easy, fellas.
All right, Damien.
Dame, appreciate you,
Later.
my guy. NFE, I want to throw it over to you real quick. Make it 1 minute, and then I gotta throw it over to my guy Richie Rivera to close us out.
No, I'll make this short and sweet, but Damien's always coming out with the chain, so I want to show my Yankees clay.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I gotta show that off. Look, I'm going. Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet, but I am going with a little more optimism into this season than I was last season. I'm not saying the Yankees are going to be winning the World Series, but at this point, I will easily say we don't know who the World Series champs are going to be. Right. And I said it last week. Everybody thought it was going to be the Braves. It wasn't the Braves. So I'd say there's a lot of teams that have a chance. So again, I still think the Yankees made a lot of good moves this offseason, small or big. I would like for them to get another starting pitcher. Who that would be, I don't know, but I think that comes in the way of a trade. So that's the only move that I would want them to make if they were to make any other moves going into 2024, and I'll leave it at that.
No, respect. My guy Richie Rivera, Empire State of Baseball. My brother, how are you doing? I hope all is well. The floor is yours. Closes out. We got to get out of here. I got some Knicks shit to talk about. Go ahead, baby.
Thanks, Hector. Hello, everybody. I have a closing question because we have a big segment for Empire State of Baseball on Monday, so I want to take it around the room.
Let's go, baby.
If you had a draft, one player to start a franchise around, but it has to be a player from any New York baseball team in the past.
Ooh.
Which player would that be? And from what season would you take that player on?
That's a great question. Off the top of my head, I would have to say Derek Jeter 2006, when he should have won the MVP over that guy from Minnesota. So for me, it's Derek Jeter. And that's a great question. Folks in the chat, put it in the chat, comment in the video real quick. Go ahead, Jonathan. TC,
I might do the 41 DiMaggio or the year Gehrig won the Triple Crown.
There you go.
Those are good years. But you know what those years don't have? Color TV, and I can't watch black and white. So you could just pull me out of that shit, right? TC, I want to throw it over to you. Get your last words, and we out of here, my guys. Richie Rivera, I appreciate you like always. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be rocking all night with the Knicks. So if you're free, Richie, come join us, even if it's for 5 minutes. NFE,
yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you as well. Michael Caputo, we're going to get you to a Yankee game this year. Me and Uncle Tats, we're going to drive out to Long Island. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to buy you some chicken tendies. I'm going to get you a sippy cup, and we're going to have us a good time at the Yankee game, all right? But go ahead, TC Stills. Get your last words, and we out of here.
Yeah, to answer Rich's question, my guy, all-time 1985 Don Mattingly, Best year. I mean, I'm running my team with that guy. Shout out to Jonathan, NFE, Rich, Michael Caputo, Damian, Jake, Luna, Frank Luna. You know, all you guys. Appreciate you guys jumping on, helping to support the channel. We love all you guys. I love coming on here. Hopefully, it's more than one time a week. We're gonna get there. Spring training's right around the corner. Love you guys. Heck, keep up the good work. You know, let's go.
Yeah, and as soon as spring training start, when we get more into it, closer to the season, we will go back to multiple streams during the week. I really do miss having these conversations with you guys. Like I always says, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. My guy El Don Sicario is in the building. How you doing, my guy? But guys, make sure you guys go follow Richie Rivera, Empire State of Baseball. Make sure you guys gonna follow my guy NFE in the Strike Zone, Pinstripe Chronicles, and Uncle Tats. Make sure you guys follow them. NYYU, Morning Brew Sports. Follow all the local content creators. And when you wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, drink some water, and say something nice about yourself. But until next time, deuces. We out.